start with this tonight on updates in Iran. Trump says we are pirates. This is just great. Trump just killed it as always, and it doesn't want to play. So hold on a second. Let me see if I can figure this out here. This is such a great clip. I can't even get it to run. All right. There you go again. All right. Trump on Iran and the pirates of America.
And then we landed on top of it. On top of everything else, we then land on top of it, and we took over the ship. We took over the cargo, took over the oil. It's a very profitable business. Who would have thought we were doing that? We're like pirates. We're sort of like pirates. But we're not playing games because, for 47 years.
I love how much he loved it. I love how much he loved to say it. We're like pirates. He really loved it. He's having a great time. This man is not scared. He's not worried about where we are in Iran because things are going our way. Now, Trump pulled off a master move last week. And in this master move, he told Congress that hostilities with Iran began on February 28th have terminated. He signed it. It's a legal document to Congress basically saying that my original offensive is over. The clock has stopped ticking, because with the War Powers Act, you get 60 days and then you have to basically get approval for war. Well, Trump reset the clock. And they can challenge it if they want to, but this is brilliant because now the ceasefire has gone on long enough that any other hostilities we might carry out going forward, if we need to, any final strikes as were being planned last week, they should qualify as a new attack. And I tell you what, Congress might fight that, but the Republicans won't. They'll back them up, and also it should be quick enough where they're never going to get anything out of it anyways. So just a genius move by Trump, breaking it all down. But again, that reset matters. And I do think that was a big part of the ceasefire, not because Trump wants to keep fighting them, not because he wants to keep bombing, but because he wants to have the option and he doesn't want to have to rely on feckless, useless Congress to be a part of it. Now, Iran, we might not need to bomb again because they were planning a final strike as of last week. We had that confirmed. CENTCOM multiple sources reported CENTCOM came to Trump with the plans for it. But Iran's economy is crashing in real time. It's getting worse for them in big ways. So you have Iran's being pushed to absolute limits, 67% inflation, 2 million jobs lost, currency at record lows, 100 billions of reconstruction costs. They may not survive this. Regime is holding, but barely. They're giving out emergency food coupons worth $7 a person, a minimum wage of $130 a month. That's crazy. They're betting they can outlast Trump in the global economic pressure. Early data shows it might not be working. Question now, whether a regime that survived 47 years of sanctions, wars, and revolutions will break under this one, or whether the U.S. and global economy run out of patience first. Well, I think it's going to end badly for them. So you see, reporting from inside Iran, we have this account right here. I don't know how much longer my internet will stay connected. I don't know if they're going to shut it down again or what, but I wanted to say we're carrying on. We're neither hopeless until the overthrow of this regime nor waiting for Trump to help again or not. In the end, it's us and the Shahanshah, and that's enough for us. This is coming from Iran, translated from Persian, and this guy breaks it down right here. I don't know when they'll cut it again. It's us and the Shah. An Iranian protester managed to post this from inside the country. This is exactly why the Iranian people are the best boots on the ground to defeat the Islamic Republic. We have the courage, numbers, unwavering will to overthrow this terror state. You don't need to send your own troops. Arm the people already fighting on the inside. And it's looking more and more like they might actually rise up and do the work. Which, again, if this regime gets overthrown because of what Trump did, and we get an entirely new Iran, say maybe they even call themselves Persia again. Guys, this goes down as one of the greatest military actions in history because of especially how efficient it was, how fast it was, how we barely took any casualties at all. So we're close. We're close to getting that major win, and the people might rise up and seal it soon. So Trump's blockade turned out to be one of the most genius moves ever. And I do think more and more it looked like it was part of the plan the whole time. Trump rejected their latest peace proposal. It's not acceptable to me. I've studied everything. It's not acceptable. Iran had sent over a 14-point proposal to open up the strait and then start talking about uranium getting done, the nuclear stuff, and Trump's just like, no. And I can tell you, this is more proof that Trump's going for the gold. And there was a PSYOP ran 2 weeks ago where everybody was trying to say that Trump was going to get another Obama deal. And they were all running that. And it was just another PSYOP immediately to scare MAGA, to make MAGA think like, oh man, Trump's failing us. He did all this and he's just going to get another Obama deal. Well, Trump's just proved it. That's not what's happening. So again, you can't trust anything. You can't trust any prognostication from anybody in the media at all. You can only trust the administration. That's it. What Trump says, Rubio, Vance, Dissent, any of them talking about what's actually going on in Iran, they're the only sources that matter at this point. I mean, everybody else has been wrong. They've all been wrong. Whether it's Tucker, Alex, Megan, whether it's actual reporters like Mark Halperin or ABC News, CBS, wherever it's been, and it's all, but they've just been wrong nonstop. Remember a couple weeks ago, we were out of ammo. That was the PSYOP going on. Oh, America, we spent much more than we can, and J.D. Vance is frustrated about it. He's so worried about us being out of ammo. And now we find out we have double what we had when we first went in, because Trump just started having them manufacture more immediately as soon as we went in, and they're just turning it around. They are running the military at the most effective we've ever seen in our lifetimes, and they don't know what to do. This is actually going to end up such a win, and obviously the part that's breaking City of London, they're going all out. It's PSYOP every day. Every day. Here's lies about what's going on in Iran. All over and over and over again. And if you've trusted anyone other than the administration on this war, you've been proven wrong several times already since the beginning of it, because everything they said was wrong. Well, it's going to be troops on the ground soon. Nope, not even close. We're stuck in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump's like, I'm closing it. We're out of weapons. No, we have double. He's going to take an Obama deal. Nope, he just put his foot down. Nope. Over and over and over again. It's like, who do you trust? Again, and this is a crazy thing because we as Americans don't like to trust politicians. But Trump's no politician. And I think because he's been around so long and been president twice now, because of that, we've forgotten that he's not a politician. We've forgotten because he's been in our lives now so long in government. We forgot, not everybody, but a lot of people have. And we can't forget that he's not one of them guys. He's not. And he just keeps proving it. Now, Trump today announced this Project Freedom. And it's really interesting and going to be awesome for us. But it says, this is a savvy legal move by Trump. May 1st, War Powers letter formally ends hostilities, preserves force posture, asserts Article 2 constitutional authority. May 3rd, Project Freedom. Announced as a humanitarian operation, not military. It's just genius. They came in so ready this time, guys. So ready for this term. Monday, U.S. Navy escorts neutral commercial ships through Hormuz under freedom of navigation rights. If Iran fires on it, that's Iran starting a new conflict. Trump's responding defensively, not attacking. No new war powers clock starts because the U.S. doesn't initiate hostilities. Iran does. So basically, this Project Freedom, they're going to just escort all these ships through the Strait of Hormuz, basically proving that Iran can do nothing. And then if Iran decides to enforce their blocking the strait, well, that all of a sudden is an attack on us. And all of a sudden, Trump has completely new powers, the fighting back of defense. It's genius. It's genius in every single way because it opens up the strait, it gets things moving, and it puts Iran again between a rock and a hard place, because we're losing our one piece of leverage, which really wasn't there anyways. Trump is just outplaying them at every turn. And he's also outplaying every analyst who acts like Trump doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, this is absolutely genius. And the fact that, and it's just more proof as well that General Kane and Pete Hegseth are wonderful at running our military. This is just absolutely genius, guys. Genius stuff we're witnessing right now. Will Chamberlain calls it out. This is game over. Iran either has to accept the loss of the Strait of Hormuz or become a party that breaks the ceasefire, which would lead to overwhelming military response, which they're not going to do. They are not going to do this because they know they'll get destroyed. Listen, these people are okay with suicide, right? They are crazy. It's like, but not all their people are. And so they're in this place where like, oh, are we going to be suicidal about all this? Or are we going to let ourselves hang in there until we get overthrown? You know, we don't want either of those things because it's not going to end well for us. Like, what is our suicide going to be before? We're not going to maintain power if we do this. He's forcing the craziest people in the world into the most difficult decision they could ever face. And I got to tell you, a lot of these people, when they're suicidal, like, yeah, they might be willing to get bombed. They're not willing to starve to death, most of them. These are not like honorable people. They're just crazy. And starving is a whole different animal. And the people won't stand for that either. The IRGC, they're not getting paid. There's reports out today that it's been 35 days since many of them have been paid. And because of hyperinflation, their paychecks are getting worth less and less before they even get them. That's going to turn on them. The soldiers are going to turn on them. And of course, the only reason they're really doing this is because City of London is saying, you can't do it, guys. You're going to fall apart. Like, we will not let you do this. But at some point, something's going to break. And it's either going to be they lash out and get reamed, or they give in. And it's coming sooner than you think, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some this week. It might take 2 weeks. It might take another month. But I got to tell you that everybody out there is saying that Iran's not like losing, that they're in the driver's seat. They just look like major idiots right now. And thank God most people are waking up to it. You see the latest poll, Harvard-Harris, majority in the U.S. think America's winning the war with Iran. And that's just through last week. Imagine how many more think it now. 74% think the U.S. is winning the war with Iran, including 60% of Democrats and 70% of independents. So if Trump pulls this off, do you know what Americans love more than anything else? You know, everybody likes to think they're a logical person. You're not. You're an emotional person when it comes to decisions, like big decisions. I know I've spent a lot of time in marketing. Even the smartest, most logical, stoic men, they impulse buy. I'm just telling you it's true. So when it comes to elections, Americans love winning. And if Trump pulls this off, they already think we're winning. So if Trump just gets anything good out of this at all, guys, that's going to win us the midterms. Because America loves winning. We love winning a war. And we still have July 4th extravaganzas going on. Patriotism is going to be like crazy. We're going to have, we still have the World Cup coming. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming, and we're going to get to have a really fun summer once this is over. And that's going to get people really excited for the midterms and change the current trajectory of everything. But we'll talk about that more in the next segment, where I have a lot to say on the midterms. And again, this war has had so much good benefits for us already. And it all comes down to the energy again, more than anything else. We're now at 46 billion barrels of proved oil reserves. Permian Basin alone is pumping 6.6 million barrels per day, more than any OPEC producer except Saudi Arabia. Our total output now is 13.6 million barrels per day. For context, Russia and Saudi are 4 million behind us each. Guys, this is crazy what we're doing. This energy, what Trump is doing is a miracle. And he's reshaping us completely. As the number one energy exporter in the world now, and only going to get more of that market share, that wealth is coming into this country, and it will spread. We're just seeing this is the initial jump, but it will start spreading. And now, like, NATO's fully exposed, and Trump's finally making moves here. U.S. withdrawing a lot more troops from Germany. Listen to him. It was 5,000 was being reported, but listen.
Why is the U.S. removing troops from Germany?
We're going to cut way down, and we're cutting a lot further than 5,000. Thank you very much.
A lot more than 5,000. You know, that's terrifying to Germany, right? Terrifying, because they run a lot of their economy is dependent upon our bases being there, our soldiers being there, all that money going into these economies in Europe. They're very dependent on that. Not to mention, they're dependent on that for their own militaries because they don't want to raise them up. So we're not leaving NATO yet, but we're already withdrawing troops. That, my friends, is terrifying to Europe. And again, it just shows us who our real enemy was this whole time. In the last several decades, Europe has been the one that's been manipulating us, stealing from us, using us to supplement their lifestyle. And they're the ones who've been behind the deep state issues, the bureaucracies, the Marxist ideology that has been permeating and coming into our government and killing our middle class. It's all been Europe, and especially the City of London system. And Trump is fully breaking it. It's wonderful to see. Now, Bam, this guy's a friend of mine. His name's Jim. He's a great guy, and honestly, one of the smartest people I know when it comes to world markets. He wrote a couple great posts, and I want to go through this real quick because I think he really summarized very well what's going on right here. And he said, the world is complicated and ugly. If you're religious, you'd refer to it as fallen. Because it's inherently complicated and ugly, leaders are forced to make very strategic, big picture decisions in order to protect the interests and long-term viability of their own nation. USA was built on the greatest foundation in the history of the world, the Constitution of the United States. And although you may not trust politicians, we have elections that act to periodically recalibrate, which makes us the safest option for global peace and stability. China doesn't have it. Russia doesn't have it. If you're forced to choose your preferred global superpower, the U.S. remains a logical choice, which leads to the ugly truth about Iran. Based on the timing of events that have been unfolding, it's my conclusion this conflict with Iran has more to do with maintaining U.S. dollar dominance than with their uranium enrichment, but blocking further enrichment is critical. Connect the dots and you'll clearly see this dynamic at work. Why Venezuela first? Just for you guys who know, Bam is a genius about markets. Okay, genius. He's built one of the craziest algorithms to track them I've ever seen. It says because it cut off China's ability to purchase discounted black market oil, transacting yuan, taking down voting machines tech that rigs elections, and drug money funding Iran and other terrorist groups as a bonus. This also routes the heavy oil toward U.S. refineries. Most others are unable to process that type. Why the conflict with Iran? Because it baited the IRGC into shutting down Strait of Hormuz, which then gave Trump the ability to blockade the strait without being accused of disrupting global oil supply preemptively. This single move acted to cut off the funding mechanism that the IRGC Islamicists use to fund themselves, bad actors in the region and around the world. Why the announcement of UAE leaving OPEC next? Because it removes OPEC restrictions that rigged global oil prices and now allows the aggressive pumping of oil that will act as the buffer to replace Iran's 1.8 million barrels. Why the announcement that negotiations have failed, the blockade will remain in effect? Because it starves the IRGC of their multi-hundred million funding mechanism while also allowing the pressure to build in the Iranian oil infrastructure, which brings them within weeks of catastrophic well failure. And just like the Venezuela blocking maneuver, it cut off another source of China's discounted black market oil transacted in yuan. Most of the formerly pro-Trump and now anti-Trump people on talk shows and pods, as well as leftists claiming Trump has no plan or he's being outmaneuvered by negotiators in Iran, probably never read Trump's book, Art of the Deal. So good. And he says, truth is Trump always over-asks in order to collar the negotiation away to opponent thinks they've won. Even all they've managed to do is negotiate back down to Trump's original goal. In short, Trump's schooling negotiators of Iran at every turn. He nails it here. China, Russia, BRICS forced USA's hand. Trump is simply playing defense through offense by not only protecting petrodollar, but totally resettling global trade in not only oil and gas, but fertilizer, helium, etc., all of which we have in abundant supply. Remember that. This isn't hurting us, any of these shortages. We have it. And would have already been dominant if the globalists hadn't been working for decades to neuter us through absurdly high tariffs. Are you not seeing the pattern now? If he sat quietly, as former U.S. leaders did, or even helped the enemy as Obama, Iran, Biden did, he would have allowed the USA to become vulnerable to not only economic collapse, no more funding of our debt, but also total collapse of our sovereignty and globe stability. Plenty of blame be pointed towards handling of events around the world, but most, if not all, can be traced to Marxist globalist agenda and their infiltration of our government and intelligence agencies. Amen. And he ends with, my opinion is our best chance to wrestle control back from the Agenda 2030 crowd. I'd like you all to have nothing, have no rights, and be happy. It's impossible to accomplish this without pain. So good. And he nails it, guys. This is what I've been communicating. He just summed up so well what I've been trying to communicate the last few weeks. But you can see how it's all just gone in order. It's all been a plan. And it all's working together. And this is going to change the world, guys. Trump is literally, this is how the golden age comes. You understand? Like, we are settling our sovereignty, and we're also ending all the manipulation in the world markets that affects us. All the commodities, all the resources, all of that manipulation, Trump is breaking it. He's breaking this system. And that means once this is all resettled, and we are in the driver's seat, the wealth that's going to come into this country is going to be unbelievable. So tell me again how Israel controls Trump, you retards. So stupid. This is the single greatest strategy anybody's ever pulled together on a global stage. And don't get me wrong, Washington still will probably go down as our best president, being that he's the general that freed us. Lincoln, with the Civil War, getting us through that, rebuilding, setting up the rebuilding of our country afterwards. And that there's a lot more to that one as well. But what Trump is doing right now is just another level. We're going to emerge out of this better than we did after World War II. It's going to take a few years, but just wait. And for everybody dooming about the future, you have no idea what you're talking about. And I say that as a Christian, but I get a lot of it from Christians, man. No, it's the end times, bro. No, it's not. You have no idea what you're talking about. We're headed towards the best time we've ever seen as long as we see this through. And now you know why they try to psyop you into dooming, why they try to scare you into ditching Trump and to losing the midterms and not showing up, because that's all they have left. We're winning, and as long as our feet are on the gas and as long as we don't give up, we win, and win heavily. We win bigly. As Trump posted today from the White House, I have all the cards. I love this man, and I'm so excited for what's coming next. This is not the end of anything, guys. This is the beginning of a new era, and it's going to be glorious. I can't wait. I'm so excited. What a time to be alive.